again everyone, how are you all? Hope you're all well. I'm going to do a video response today to a video Paul Retrobait put out and quite a few other people have responded to. And it's what are your top 10 PlayStation 1 games? And sort of why, talking about the reasons why they're your top 10. A lot of my top 10 definitely come from nostalgia. They really do. And it's nostalgia of really happy, fun times playing games with people, playing multiplayer games. I've never been a fan of, say, like Resident Evil or Metal Gear Solid or Final Fantasy, RPGs and stuff like that. They bore me. They really do. I've never been one who can sit down and put hours and hours and hours into a game. I love a good, quick game. Pick up, play, turn it off, come back another time if you want to. But that's what's great about these VRs, is every single person's different and everyone's got a different opinion. And as my mate John says, opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one, no one thinks theirs stinks. So yeah, John, that's in there for you. Right, let's get on with the games. First one I'm going to pick isn't a game, I just said about nostalgia, isn't a game that I had back in the day. I didn't even know this game existed till a couple of years ago. But the franchise itself, I absolutely loved. And anyone who had an Amiga or anything like that knows the franchise I'm talking about. And it's Lemmings. And I didn't realise until a couple of years ago that they came out with a PlayStation 1 game called Lomax. And Lomax is set in the universe of Lemmings. But what's happened is all the Lemmings have been kidnapped and turned into all the monsters and everyone that chase you about. And your Lomax here, the last lemming, survived. And he's going to go on a quest. It's a really nice 2D platformer. Sort of like 2.3D, if you get what I mean. It's like, you have to play it. It's fun. It definitely feels a lot like an Amiga game. And I think that's what really draws me into it. But it's like Amiga game, what would have happened, you know what I mean, later on down the line. Don't know if you can see any of the screenshots there on the back, but it's got some really good music. It's got the actual animation, the style, and the atmosphere of this game is really fun. It's a solid platformer, it really is. But if you like the Lemmings games back in the day, this is sort of like the next step of where Lemmings went to, and I think they sort of died out after they tried to resurrect them and 3D games, and I think they even had like a PlayStation Move one as well, where you had to pretend to be the things, whatever. It died off. This is a really, really fun game on the PlayStation 1, and I wish I'd known about this a lot sooner, because I would have probably completed it by now. I've never completed this game. I still enjoy playing it nonetheless. The next one, another one that again I didn't get until, well, the full version of it I didn't get until recently. Few years, but I always remember seeing this game in magazines. I always remember seeing this front cover in the shops and everywhere else, and I finally managed to get myself a copy of it. I'm sure I had it on a demo somewhere, and that's Tempest X3. And if you don't know the Tempest games, they are that little puzzle game by Jeff Minter. I say puzzle game, it's not, it is a shooter, isn't it? It's all sort of like the wire graphics, and you've got to go around, shoot everything. Feels like you're on drugs whilst you're playing it. Absolutely trippy music as well. And yeah, it's just a really, really stunning game. And it's that actual cover is ingrained in my brain of when I think of PlayStation, I always see this cover. Yeah, definitely one worth picking up. It's a great game for quick blasts, is what I'm saying. I love games like that. High score game. And I love it. I love that game. Again, another one that I never had back in the day. God, it's amazing, isn't it? I said all mine are nostalgia, but they're not. I think after this and the next one, they're all nostalgia. But these are nostalgia in a different way that I, again, remember seeing it in the magazines. I remember wanting to play it. And that's with this one here. It's exactly the same. It's a really early release, and it's Spider. And I know I had this on a demo disc. I remember playing this game, or at least the first level of this game, over and over again. I remember seeing this Spider in magazines and on posters, thinking how cool it was. That, like, look at it, it's got like machine guns and knives and stuff like that. And do you know what? After finally getting this game and playing it, I'm not disappointed. It is a really, really good, again, 2.3D platform game. Platform and racing games, they're my go-to. I really enjoy. So yeah, if you've never played Spider, definitely give this one a go. It's well worth it. And yeah, definitely holds up. Really does. Right, the last one now of games that I never had back in the day. And this one I don't even know where my knowledge of this one came from. But I remember getting this for Christmas a couple of years back. Because I saw a clip of it somewhere. And I was not disappointed. And that's Skull Monkeys. Skull Monkeys is... It's the second in the series of the first one was on PC. Is it Secret of Nevermore? Point and click game. And then they came out with this one. And it's all claymation. That's what I love about this. Everything is set, especially the Nevermore one, is like, it was point and click, but you actually went down into the plasticine model and kept going around. This is a 2D platformer. The music is amazing. The humour is amazing. The platforming gets very, very tricky. Definitely got to pixel perfect some of these jumps and make use of the power-ups and everything as you go along the way. But yeah, it's... Just look up a clip of this and listen to the intro music, and if it doesn't make you want to play this game, there's something wrong with you. Right now, definitely nostalgia-based ones that I played. Played an awful lot. Let's see. Yeah, they are. And the first one is Pong. Just a really fun party game. It really is. It takes the concept of a standard Pong game, beefs it up, puts it on, gives it so many different levels, designs and everything else. It gives you so many power-ups. Just the playing field you're playing as well, they're so varied. Sometimes you've got it where the actual whole ground is moving one direction and you've got to try and hit a target to make it spin back the other direction, and you know what I mean, it gets really hectic. And my memories of this is going round to my brother's mate's house overnight, and this was the only game we played all night because we couldn't get off it. There's so many levels in it. Or talking about games bringing back gaming memories, or just memories in general, I remember playing this and he ordered a pizza, and weird thing is I still remember that he ordered a full English breakfast pizza that had egg on it. Yeah, I mean, stupid memories, absolutely stupid memories. But yeah, fun memories. And you know what, I still love playing this game today. I will happily put this game on around a couple of mates. I just play it for a couple of hours because it's just fun. And isn't that what games are important, just being about fun. Next one, it's nothing special. It really isn't anything special, but it's got a place in my memory which is so special to me. I'm going to take you back to when you first started going out drinking, underage drinking, and we had to stay around a mate's house, and we ended up staying around our mate John, who used to live in this high-rise block of flats. And he used to have quite a few people around. There was always people coming and going. There was something going on. You'd drink too much. You'd smoke too much. People would pass out. But for the entire time we were there, if it wasn't people watching Bottom on TV, they had Monopoly on. Monopoly on the PlayStation 1. And I remember passing out and people playing Monopoly. Other people must have passed out and then woken up again and going, oh, the game's still running, just carried on. Very, very happy memories. It's again, nothing special. It's just a Monopoly game. Just walking around, you know. It's Monopoly. Nobody can flip the board. There's no option for that. But it's the memories attached to Monopoly on the PlayStation 1 that mean an awful lot to me. Very hazy memories, I might add. I may have threw up a few times. I'm sure John will account for that. Sometimes I actually made it into the bathroom. So, there we are, we're back. Next one is Roll Cage on the PlayStation 1. Again, another one, demo disc. I had this on a demo disc. I played this over and over and over again at first level, and it wasn't until years later that I got the full game, and it's still good. There's Roll Cage 2 as well. I think the first one's still better. Think of Wipeout, apart from you're a car that can flip upside down. You've got all the power-ups, you've got the music, you've got everything else, but Roll Cage is fast-paced. It really is. It's quite twitchy as well. When you're driving, if you overcompensate, you will go straight off into a wall, and normally that wall will send you straight up into the air, and you're doing somersaults and everything else. So to get a good run going, you've got to know the track, and you've got to be subtle with the movements. But I love Roll Cage. It took me a long time to get this back in my collection. It really did, and I'm glad to have it. See, I could have put Tekken 3 in this spot, but to me, I was never that good at Tekken, and I wasn't that good at fighting games in general. People always used to memorize all the moves and everything else and get really good at it, and I wasn't until this franchise came along. And it's Soulcalibur, but originally it was called Soul Blade. Forgive the complete mankiness up here. This is my original copy. It just happened to be stuck in a bloody damp cellar before I got it back. Annoying, but luckily it was the only one that got damaged. I mean, look at it. It's proper manky. But yeah, Soul Blade, which is also Soulcalibur, and then the Soul Edge, what kept on going. I love the way this fights. I love that they've all got different weapons. It finally put me on a level playing field where I can actually be competitive with other people, and also now frustrate people that I'm actually decently good at it. You know, when it comes to Tekken, Pod was always the one who was good at Tekken. A couple of the people as well, and they'd end up being on the computer and never getting off. But when this one came along, and obviously the other Soulcalibur games afterwards, I could compete with them. Maxi is still my favourite character on this. He's got the nunchucks. I love that it's really fast paced, darting about all over the place, and you know, that's my style of fighting. And many happy memories playing Soul Edge, Soulcalibur, same thing. Now this one has already been mentioned. I think Pete on a retro trip mentioned this one. But again, the nostalgia, the memories, the air was put into this game. Again, very hazy memories. Just I think as a lot of us would be around about this age. But yeah, it's Hogs of War. My mate Steve gave me this copy. He bought this copy when Rick Mail died. You know what I mean? So he just always wanted it because we played it so much back then. And when Rick Mail passed away, he said, look, I need to get that game again. He didn't even have a PlayStation. He just wanted a copy of this. And he has since gifted it to me when he moved house, because he knew I was growing the collection. And it's important to me in that way that it's a gift from him. It reminds me of Rick Mail, the humour and everything else. I mean, sort of brought up watching Rick Mail in one form or another. Large part of my childhood. And playing this game, and many happy memories, blowing each other up, swearing at each other, smoking too much. Hogs of War, what I was going to say about it. Love it. And last one now, I'm actually going to go back a few years, probably right back at the beginning of the PlayStation, or close enough. I actually didn't have a PlayStation 1 myself, but my mate Steve had one, and I used to go out to his in Dovecoats in Pendeford, and we played different games, but we always played this one, and I still have the original disc somewhere, because I'm sure we never had the full box for it. He just had the disc. It had a way of acquiring games, and it's Road Trip. I could have, and I should have actually put Twisted Metal in this list, but I don't have an actual copy of Twisted Metal. Little of a run-in with CEX a couple of weeks back. I would have had a copy. But anyway, we're talking about Road Trip. And if you've never seen Road Trip before, think of Twisted Metal crossed between Crazy Taxi. And that is what you get with this. You've got your vehicles, you've got to go around blasting everyone. But on the way, you've got to pick up tourists. And then once you've picked them up, they will say, I want to go to this destination to take a picture of that landmark. You know what I mean? So then you get more money to buy upgrades. And it's really fast paced. You know what I mean? It's like when you've actually got them, as soon as you've got the tourists, that's it. Everyone homes in on you and they're going to kill you. And, you know, and they want that tourist because they want the money. And it's not one I think gets talked about a lot. It's not one I ever hear. Oh God, look at the size of that manual. I wonder how many languages that's in. Yeah, quite a few. Yeah, it's just not one I ever hear people ever talking about. And I have such fond memories of this game. And luckily I got this before it started going a bit up in price, like most of the retro stuff is now. So very happy to have that in my collection. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is 10. But I have a bonus one. And this bonus one I think is going to be relevant to a lot of you out there, regardless what games you played on the PlayStation 1. We all had these because we didn't have the money. We did not have the money to go out and buy a brand new game every month. Well, I didn't anyway. If you did, you were very lucky. And my number 11 spot goes to the humble demo disc. Because if it wasn't for the demo discs that we played the same levels over and over again, we wouldn't have gone out and bought games like this to know what the next stage is. We didn't have the money for the full game. We played the demos. We waited each month for the demos. And also, I don't know why I've got 2 copies of this. The most important demo of all. The first demo. The demo that came, it ended up with 2 copies of this for some reason. The demo that came with your PlayStation. There's more memories on this demo disc than probably any of these games. I'm sure that you guys have played this over and over again. And that's demo disc number 2. That's why I've got 2 of them. Hang on. I'd say jump cut, but I'm not going to cut it. There we are. Demo disc number 1. Tell me why I've got a demo disc number 2 and 1 in the same sleeve. Did they both come with the PlayStation? But yeah, this one here. Do you remember putting this on and playing that first lap of Wipeout over and over again? Of that dinosaur. Do you ever remember the dinosaur that was on there? And you can rotate him round, make him roar, do other things like that. And it's just nothing but that. But from going from what we were playing before to the PlayStation was a big jump. And I've also got this one as well. I'm not sure which one this came with, but it also says demo disc number 1. I should actually, this one says special demo. Or does that say special? Let's have a look. Looks like I've got 3 separate. No, this is, so we have registration demo 1. So that's going to be one with a dinosaur on it. But then we've got, oh, this is PS1. I get you now. I should have really done my research before sitting down and rabbiting on. So this is the demo disc for the PS1. I'll have to actually put that in and see what's on it. Didn't know that was for that. Didn't even know I had demo 2. But yeah, that's my list. That's my extra bonus one. That's me waffling on, not knowing how to finish a video, and that's nothing new. So, of all the games we played, let's all hear it for the humble demo disc. Right guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.